We're just going to sit here for 45 minutes and talk.
And full disclosure, you probably can't hear it, but Elliot's been fidget spinning since
it's
the moment. It's
clear
still
as
going
day
right
over
now.
here.
Elliot is now fidget spinning at a 4th grade level. I got my cats to play with it.
Cats
They
will
actually
play with
really like
anything.
it. They do. They really like it. They like fucking with it. It's a good cat toy.
That's a good cat toy.
You should get a laser pointer. They'll go fucking wild.
Well, I have
for
the
that
laser
shit.
pointer. You know they have a laser pointer for cats now that you can run with your smartphone while you're away from home? And there's a camera on it so you can watch them go nuts.
So it's like a remote controlled turret, but it
That
doesn't hurt
seems
anything.
weird. That seems like it's too far.
Welcome to the podcast.
Hey, guys.
Welcome, Phil Larigo, our special
Hey, guys.
guest. Not so special anymore. You're pretty much just part of the team now.
I'm pretty
Phil
much just,
Gregoroligo.
I'm the stench when you open the fridge. You're like, oh yeah, Phil's in there.
Still
I'm
there.
the stench.
Hasn't
I'm
left.
the muster. I'm the man.
Someone's got to eat that, Phil.
So this is what we're going to do this week. We haven't
not
done a
an
podcast in a
invitation.
while, so we're going to do a little Q&A since we haven't done it in a while. And you guys are just so hungry for content and hungry for other things.
You're starving.
Because we have a sponsor this week. No, but we'll get to it later.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I
one.
got some questions from the
Twitterverse?
From the Twitterverse. Also, we started a Discord today, and I'm sure that within 5 minutes it had already delved into complete chaos. So
I still don't understand what Discord is for. I don't play a lot of multiplayer games.
it's basically the rebirth of chat rooms. So you create a server, like we created a server.
Yeah.
And then in that you have multiple chat rooms. Like I made a shit posting meme one. I did one for story submissions. I did one for just general talk.
Yeah.
So it's just a chat room. So people just chat in it.
And they just chat with their fingers.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just a chat room.
I mean, I know that like the Donald has like the biggest Discord server.
Yeah. Well, we're
on
gonna
Earth.
beat them.
Yeah, we're coming for you.
I did have to edit someone's name already because I have like admin powers. I can edit how their name displays because they had swastikas in it.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
What do you? Come on, no. What if they were the backwards
My hands
ones
are tied.
that mean peace? They weren't
Yeah.
swastikas. They were the
Well, I can't tell
Buddhist.
the difference.
I can't.
And neither can anyone else.
Listen, I was a kid once. Swastikas are fun to draw. We all get it. But
Yeah, it's like the Stussy S, the swastika. They're all fun.
it goes up and down and left
It's just
and
the
right.
best. Would you say? The best parts of the square. Quote Ellie Dewberry. That's it. It's just the best parts of the square.
Yeah,
The prime cuts.
There was even there was a college that for decades got away with having a dorm room designed in the shape of a swastika.
Because it was efficient.
Yeah, it was a fucking efficient design. It allowed
I thought that was a government building.
I don't know, it might have been, but they had to get rid of it after
sense for a while.
after the satellites came and ruined everything.
Damn Google
Oh,
Maps.
damn it. If you look at this from space, it looks like this is Hitler's secret moon base.
Yeah.
Get rid of it.
So anyways, we do have questions. And let's get started with at SantaMan1000.
Oh.
The other Santa men were all taken.
Ho, ho, ho.
You're busy.
What's the schedule for videos? What will Tugs or Weekly Weird be moved so that it's not a double upload? When should we expect ETC Daily? Why no live show? I think he's talking about this week. We didn't do a live show this week.
First off.
Do noi bye.
I mean, a standard ideal week, everything is in its right place. There just haven't been a lot of those at all recently.
Yeah, it's just complete chaos
Shit
always
gets
now.
moved around a lot. If we were a broadcast TV channel with a staff of dozens
Yeah.
and writers who write the words that come out of our mouths, we'd be able to
Do things
adhere
differently.
to a stricter schedule, but that's not the case.
With your guys' schedule, like prior to the break last year for like Thanksgiving, Christmas, and stuff.
Yeah.
Nick and I were still doing primers. We were dropping one sketch a week with maybe a space bar, but we weren't like day and date stuff. And you guys were cranking those out. And I just remember everyone in the building was like freaking out before the holiday, like, oh, we only have 7 more things to tape. But I was like, man, you guys are stupid. It was like, no, we have to do 7 shows or else we have to come to work.
Yeah.
And I'm not coming to work for
Yeah.
Thanksgiving. I'm not
Yeah.
coming to work for around the holidays. So you got to bank something on Friday.
Yeah, we have
if
to
you
come in
wanna-
on we have to come in on Sunday next Sunday because we're going to be out of the entire office and in Cuba for a week.
Unless Donald Trump puts a stop to it.
He's getting real close to banning travel to Cuba.
I think we should ban it.
Yeah, like right before we go. But yeah, we're gonna be in Cuba, which is they don't have great internet there, so we can't literally do anything. But we are gonna tape a bunch of stuff while we're there, so the resulting video will be fun, I'm sure.
Everybody's gonna be in the 240p club. Everybody is.
Yeah,
It's
I
just
don't.
going to be one long video of us conga lining through the entire nation of Cuba.
Yeah,
At the Copacabana.
Copacabana.
And then
Hot.
a 2-hour video of me smoking an entire habanero cigar.
habanero.
Whoa.
No, it's a spicy cigar.
What do they
Yeah.
call them?
Cohibas?
I think it's called a
Dirty Dancing Havana
I don't know.
Nights?
See, we're gonna learn all this more.
We're gonna learn about it.
Yeah.
They love rum and cigars. That's what I know.
Yeah.
And old cars. But I think it's because they don't get new cars there.
Wait, like the
No,
first Disney
yeah.
Pixar Cars movie?
Yes.
As
No,
opposed
they,
to the
uh,
second one?
No.
Well,
it's
Cuba
all
was
pirated there.
basically Cuba was one of the original like banana republics where America just sort of moved in and was like, step aside, natives, we'll run this show, and like a bunch of American like hotels and businesses just turned it into a tourist trap. No one local was really making decent wages or anything. That's why there was a Cuban revolution. They were like, hey, you can't do that.
And now with the travel ban lifted and some of the sanctions lifted, they're doing great because of Airbnb. Well,
They're doing better.
They're doing better. Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
not a
Inching-
perfect
inching
situation.
forward.
No,
yeah.
they're decades behind the rest of the
Yeah.
entire hemisphere in many ways. But yeah,
I heard their
it'll be
internet's not
interesting to
good.
see firsthand.
Yes. So yeah, we're gonna come in and film on a Sunday to prep for that.
The Lord's Day. Oh,
yeah,
That's
the
right.
day
You
of
should have
rest.
Jesus on the podcast.
Oh,
Yeah, well,
man.
Jesus didn't have 2 YouTube channels that had needed constant uploads. So
Yeah, I think we need like you guys to do a ETC party time stream while we're gone. You'll
Sound-
figure it out.
That's the stigmata
and
that I
on
wear.
Sunday, Jesus capped gameplay.
Yes.
GTA
yeah,
5
so
mods.
if it was a perfect week, it would be dailies almost every day, and then Tech Tuesday on actual Tuesday.
I like, thank God you just dropped that T, dropping an N, and it's whatever day
Tech
you
News
want it
Day.
to be.
Yeah.
Thing is, like, there's just so much news. Like, it used to, like, all these people seem to forget that, like, I miss when it was on Tuesdays. All these shows used to be like 7 minutes long.
Yeah.
Now they're like 3 to 4 times that length. That takes longer to write and edit, and therefore everything takes longer to actually end up on the internet.
That's why I've been trying to do more like dailies because we keep them a little bit shorter, and we can actually do more of them faster. So it's like if there's something that's interesting, I'll make it a daily. But then it's like, yeah, we have the fucking live stream, podcasts, tugs, weekly weird, news dump, the dailies, answering.
These are all problems.
Answering thousands of emails.
asinine emails
Yeah.
that shouldn't have been sent in the first place.
I think the biggest thing that we're lacking is like a real like executive producer that's their only job, where they can just like
Shield you from-
handle the like
I would
business.
love that. I fucking hate email.
Yeah.
Like, it
Just
is the
let us
bane of my
write
existence.
and host a show and we'd be great. But like having to deal with
Hey,
like
did you check your email? No, I was working.
yeah.
Well, I sent you an Evite
Yeah.
to a
I
fidget
envy
spin.
all these corporate fucking slaves who just can sit there
Do one
looking
job.
at their email inbox and be like, just waiting for the next one to drop. I don't have that luxury.
Yeah. Got to produce content for the kids. Mm-hmm. So thank you
Spin
for that
fidget
very
Kids gotta
loaded
learn.
question. We want to do as much as possible, but damned if I don't want to die sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes it's...
Me IRL.
It's nice.
The floor is lava, and then you get down on the floor. Thank God.
Yeah.
No, it's great. I'm not complaining. It's just like there's sometimes where I'm like, where did an entire day go?
I guess. Yeah.
Right.
I just don't like. I hate the idea of like rushing content. Like a lot of the stuff we used to do way back in the day was just like literally just reading like headlines to stuff from the Hollywood Reporter, being like, and that happened.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm not gonna explain something like in depth, then what's the fucking point? I'm not
Yeah.
your like Twitter feed.
Well, that's the thing is like that's one of the reasons we stopped doing most of the movie content.
One sentence news articles.
Well, because it's like we do it sometimes now if it's an actual decent story, but like when we had to do the show for Machinima's main channel, it'd be like you have to do a show
It's
today,
a fucking chore.
or 2 shows today, and it'd be like, all right, cool. Well, this one image from fucking something came
Doctor
out, and let's
Strange
talk
came
about it for
out.
7 minutes.
Len
What is
Wiseman
it?
might be doing something.
Yeah.
Everyone's favorite director, Len Wiseman.
All right,
Yeah.
guys, ... That's where you come in. I need
Yeah.
12 minutes of ...
Yeah.
Here's 1 inch of Spider-Man's new costume. As you'll see, the webbing is no longer metallic. Now it's solid matte blue. So things are happening, guys.
Yeah.
So
It's-
Half-Life 3 double confirmed.
Double
Rap
confirmed.
Fact,
Yeah.
Blue Spider-Man.
Anyway, yeah, the content goes up when it goes up.
Yeah, if
don't
you want
like
us to
that,
just read headlines,
fuck
we're
you.
more than happy to do that. Yeah.
Somehow that question got a middle finger for Nan. Hey, so how do you guys... Fuck you, that's how.
No, I mean I understand. I understand where the question comes from, but it is something that like the more I hear the question, I'm just like, I mean, bro, shit happens when it happens.
You can't rush this
You can't
Sorry,
genius.
Elliot's
rush.
really high
You
right
can't-
now. It happens.
That's
when
why
it
my
happens.
desk in our office, our actual office, is a fucking trash pile. Because look at Einstein's desk when he died.
Yeah.
It was a mess.
Yeah. You had dirty socks all over it.
Just dirty jizz
Dirty-
filled
Oh,
Frosty
you beat.
socks.
Now is. God damn it.
Einstein jerked off 12
Einstein's
times a day.
mechanical keyboard had Cheeto dust just in between
All over.
every key.
He had the whole thing, and the reason he came up with equals MC squared is because he had one of the fucking F keys stuck, and it just
Yeah.
was typing out gibberish.
He spilled vape juice on his mouse pad and just didn't even bother cleaning
Fuck!
it
I
up.
accidentally.
I gotta
accidentally,
solve physics.
This thing smells like cotton candy now.
No
Oh, God.
time for this.
Accidentally invented the nuclear bomb.
Ah,
Yeah.
we almost got through it.
Yeah.
Almost.
Anyways, let's move on. At Dylan has a dog. I'm gonna let Phil take this one first. What's the most? What's the most criminally underrated movie
Criminally underrated movie.
that people need to go see because they don't know about it?
Okay, you guys are probably going to disagree with me. I would say I Heart Huckabees.
Everyone likes that movie.
Really?
I think
Everyone I'm friends with likes that
Okay.
movie.
everyone from a specific age group likes that movie. I would venture to say that there is a vast amount of people that would be watching this that probably have no idea it exists.
Yeah,
So-
yeah, people our age, but I think it had pretty mass appeal because it was
Mark
quirky and
Wahlberg.
philosophical, but like in an accessible way.
Yeah. I watched it again recently. It drags a little bit in the part when they're having dinner, and I'm kind of like, I get
I
it.
love that
like-
part with Richard Jenkins.
Yeah, when he
that's my
walks in.
favorite part of the movie.
What do you mean? So if you are a
haven't
heady
seen it
person, if
forever.
you like, it's very hard to describe, but it's got a great cast, and it's what starts off as a movie that you're just like, oh, Jason Schwartzman is a tree hugging hippie. It gets into the existentialness of it all, and it's very funny. And if you like to be under the influence of things, it's also a fun movie.
And
for
once you
that.
watch it, go on YouTube and look up the on-set
the
fights
freak out?
between Lily Tomlin
Yeah.
and
David O.
David O.
Russell.
Russell. The multiple fights where they're just screaming at each other while the rest of the cast is just
Well, here,
sitting there.
watching what happens in that one, because there's a scene with Lily Tomlin and Jason Schwartzman, and David O. Russell, the director, storms in and starts yelling, and Jason Schwartzman gets out of there like, oh God, mom and dad are fighting.
Yeah.
And Lily
Again.
Tomlin, like, she's a pro, and she's like, fuck
doesn't take
you.
anyone-
Like,
like-
she doesn't even flinch.
I like both of them more out of like there's no winner and loser.
No.
I love Lily Tomlin and I love David O. Russell.
Yeah.
The fact that they don't like each other at all and
Yeah.
didn't while they were making a movie together just makes me love them both more. There's the other one where they Lily Tomlin's in the car with Dustin Hoffman, like they're shooting car stuff, and she's just like screaming at him like over the walkie. So it's even more awkward. They're like in two completely different locations, and Dustin Hoffman's just sitting there, and like he'll occasionally jump in with like, "Come on,
All right.
too old for this shit."
I need to see that again. I haven't. I watched it so much when I was of college age.
No.
I haven't seen it since, but I should really. It's like a happier version of that one where Kate Winslet and Jim Carrey are just depressed
Eternal
about the relationship.
Sunshine?
Yeah.
It came out around. Yeah, it has a lot of the
Yeah, it's a
similar vibes.
Well, yeah, it's just it's presenting something, an existential crisis in a different way, I guess, or
Yeah.
whatever. You're dealing with problems in a different way, but yeah, it was a fun romp instead of just an absolute fucking depression fest.
Eternal Sunshine's a real bummer. Again, the first time I saw that, I was like, "This is fucking awesome." And then I watched it again. I was as a slightly more life experienced person. I was like, "God, I want to fucking kill myself."
Yeah.
It's still a great movie.
Me
but-
IRL the movie.
Yeah, I Heart Huckabees there's laughs in there, but again, it's a little heady, but that's a fun one.
What about you, Elliot?
I mean,
Underrated.
criminally underrated. Like, I mean, I know a lot of movies that are criminally underwatched.
Yeah.
But most of them are well liked by the people who did actually like the critics and who want to
Yeah.
watch them. I mean, like in that category, I'd say like The Nice Guys from last year.
Oh,
Yeah,
that was
Like,
fucking
that
fantastic.
one like highly praised, just
You wanna
not a
take
lot
it
of
for a
people
spin?
saw it. And then like more recently, The Invitation from last year, the horror film, like fucking one of the best horror movie thrillers I've ever seen.
So
and just
stressful.
Like, no one fucking knows about it.
So stressful.
And then from this year, I Don't Feel at Home in This World Anymore.
Mm-hmm.
There's the directorial debut of Macon Blair on Netflix. That was great. In that same vein, Green Room from last year. Wish more people saw that. But yeah, I generally, I don't know if I have any favorite movies that everyone thinks are shit.
Yeah.
I'll have to think about this because, I mean, there are like movies like Hot Rod and Saving Silverman that people
Hot Rod is great.
People
were
stick their
talking
nose
about
up out. They're
Steve-
like, "Oh, what a terrible film!"
We just
but
were talking about Steve Zahn. I was like, where is he? He's so good.
You know what
miss
he's great
Steve
in?
Zahn.
You know what he's fucking great? He was in King Kong.
Oh,
But
okay.
But you know what he was great in? National Security with Martin Lawrence.
Was that movie good?
That movie is fucking great. I don't care what anyone says. You know what? I'll just say, criminally underrated, the entire Martin Lawrence catalog. It is all...
Black
Black
Knight.
Knight is fucking
Even
amazing.
Big Mama's House.
Sure, I'll give him that too. National Security is a national treasure.
Blue Streak is a fucking fantastic film.
We should all just go watch Martin Lawrence movies.
The Luke Wilson days.
I follow the whole collection. Yeah, Blue Streak is a fantastic movie. A guy, he plants his stash, he goes to prison, he comes out, he's like, "Ah, shit, the place I planted the stash is now a police station.
Bum, bum, bum.
So I'll have to pretend to be a cop," and he gets away with it successfully.
So the thing is it like I guarantee you could go out right now and in a Walmart bin, it probably has a 6-pack DVD of every Martin Lawrence. It has like all the panels on it.
the
Where it's
things
like,
are like a
Big
bundle.
Mama's House, Big Mama's House 2, Blue Streak, National Security. I will say that I think that some of his movies are the funniest 90s absurd.
And his TV show, Martin, was a great show.
It was a great show.
criminally underrated show.
The man is hilarious. He's a comedy legend.
It's a shame he had to go out jogging in 100-degree weather wearing a bunch of trash bags, and kind of that's like the point in his career where things.
Oh, the
went
Bad
south.
Boys might be coming back or whatever eventually.
Yeah, that's what they say, but it just makes me sad thinking about how Will Smith's probably going to be making $100 million from that, and they're just like Martin Lawrence is getting some fucking pocket change. You'll do it.
I'm sure we'll be
You
very
need
nice
this
and-
more than we do.
Yeah. But aside from that, I will say as far as comedies go, and I just rewatched it a couple weeks ago because I forgot it existed, and it was one of my favorite comedies, and it has terrible reviews. Like, I think it has like an 18% on Rotten Tomatoes or something really bad. And it is one of the funniest movies I've ever seen, and it's The Brothers Solomon.
I never saw that.
Oh my God, you
Will
have to see
Arnett
it.
and
Will Arnett and
Will
Will
Forte.
Forte.
I mean, I love them.
And they're just, I rewatched it and I was like, I even tweeted, I was like, if you imagine Don Jr. and whatever the other Donald Trump's son name is, what's his name?
Eric.
Eric
Oh,
Trump.
yeah.
Just them in the roles. Like, they're just so stupid because they were homeschooled forever. And they were raised in like Antarctica. So they're just bumbling idiots who are trying. Their dad goes into a coma, and their dad's their only friend. And they're both terrible at dating, but they both really want to find love. But the story is that their dad goes into a coma, and one of the funniest bits in it is they find out they're going through their messages, and they're like listening to their messages, and they have like a late the video is late to the rental store, and then they go in, they're like, you have to come now, your dad's he's in a coma in the hospital, he had a stroke or something. They're like, oh God, let's go. And they pile up into the car, and you see the car just burning down the street, and then it slams on the brakes, and you see that they're pulling into the video store to return it so they don't get a late charge. And they're like, all right, cool, yeah, it's handled. Actually, and they're about to run out, and they're like, you actually have one extra free movie on your account. And they're like, so they're looking around. Like, they show up at the hospital, and they're like, oh my God. And they're like, you just missed it. He just slipped into the coma after his like thing. Like, seriously, if you had just been here 5, maybe 4 minutes early. And he like looks down, and they have a movie. It's like shit like that. It's so funny in it. But anyways, the basic premise of the movie is that the doctor's like, I don't know how long he has, but usually if someone has a reason to stick around, they can stick around. And they're like, we should get someone pregnant and give our father a grandson. And they're like, oh, before we were trying to date women for us, but now we're trying to get laid for dad. And so that's the whole premise of the movie.
Wow.
They end up like finding Kristen Wiig and seeing if she'll get pregnant for them. And
They're good idiots.
Yeah.
They're the good kind. One more movie. You mentioned The Invitation.
Yeah.
That was really good. From 2014, The Guest.
Yeah.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
So good.
I think it's highly rated, but underwatched.
I don't know. That
That's-
one's
I'm looking it up. It got a 90 on Rotten.
okay. I know some people
It's
didn't
Adam
like
Wingard,
it.
It's
right?
Adam
Yeah.
Wingard who just got
Godzilla.
Godzilla versus
King Kong.
which Bravo.
Well, he also did the new
Blair Witch.
which I thought was fine, but it was literally the same movie. But it was it was
He's got
fine.
that Death Note.
Death
yeah.
Note's coming out.
And You're Next is a fucking great horror movie.
That's fun. I still have a soft spot for the first 2 VHS movies.
Yeah,
which
I
he
love
did.
VHS.
Oh man, I just remembered another fucking great one that I think it was very highly rated, but completely criminally underwatched. Is Everybody Wants Some.
Oh, yeah.
That
yeah,
was
yeah.
easily
Oh, yeah.
the funniest movie of last year.
Yeah.
That was really.
I need to
just
give that
well
another
done.
watch. It was just just a joy.
Yeah, I went and saw it in
joyful.
theaters 3 times because I kept
Wow.
bringing people. I brought one friend who was on our ETC party time this week, Rob. I brought him because he loves like movies that are set in the 80s always. And I had to literally calm him down in the theater because I was embarrassed about how hard he was
Oh,
laughing.
no.
Yeah, but
That's
that is a great movie.
too, yes.
And one of my favorite actors of recent time, Kurt Russell's son. Don't know his actual name.
Yes.
Who? Russell Stover,
Sure.
He's
a baked good.
Leon Russell.
He plays the
He's in
guy
Black
who
Mirror.
does the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
in the
Beard
movie.
Russell.
Kurt Russell is a fucking treasure.
He is. It's good to see him showing up in everything
Yeah.
lately.
Yeah, he's great, and his son's turning out great too. So it's a great. He has strong genes, and you know what? Their relationship is fine because they never got married. That's the key.
Him and Goldie.
Yeah, they never got married, but they had a
That's
kid.
right.
It's
That's
fine.
right.
They're doing great.
Either of them could leave at any time.
Yeah.
Keep it interesting.
That's the
like,
thing.
watch this. Marvel is killing it, bringing in Kurt Russell for that, and then Jeff Goldblum. Those guys, like the silver guys on
Yeah.
the edge of the silver foxness.
Yeah.
All the ladies love them. All the guys love them. It's a win-win.
We're just gonna stay on the underrated movie scene as we remember them. But Captain Ron, great Kurt Russell movie.
Never saw
Captain
that.
Ron.
You've never seen it?
Overboard.
No.
Oh God, Captain Ron is it's Kurt Russell as a bumbling fucking boat captain.
Martin Short,
that,
is he the dad?
that a family rents to have drive them around.
Bad.
I'm pretty sure he's like very the daughter is attracted to him at some point.
Oh, he's got a hot daughter.
Captain
Nice.
Ron's gonna fuck my daughter. Also, since you're probably young and watching this, please just, you know what? Skip the first. You know what? Don't skip the first one. Watch both of the
Captain Ron movies?
No, the
Escape?
No, what's the movie where they drag the dead guy around?
Weekend at
Bernie's.
Weekend at Bernie's 1 and 2 are like 2 is the best, but 1 you gotta
Two
get.
is stupid. What are you talking about?
Two's the best.
2, they put a voodoo curse on him and he dances.
Yeah, I
You
love
think
it. When he's doing the
watched-
conga line in
I mean,
Hawaii,
I don't think it's
they
possible
hide him in
to
the fridge.
jump the shark in a Weekend at Bernie's series, but like they definitely they tried their damnedest to jump the shark.
Number
there.
2 is the one where they play music and he walks.
Yes,
right?
that's
Yeah.
what I'm
Play this
saying.
certain song.
The first one, it was all about just like hiding this body and arranging it in believable ways. And the second one,
trying to, like, steal his money, right,
They
or something?
introduced fucking Caribbean black magic into it for like out of fucking nowhere.
Voodoo.
great.
It's how they get him under. So a friend of mine.
That movie is fucking awesome.
This is
Both
what
of them.
this is what you get to do when you're an adult. Anyone
Yeah.
listening? A friend of mine had a dinner party, and we watched. He got his projector, and we watched Weekend at Bernie's. And I was like, this movie is fucking ridiculous because when Weekend at Bernie's 2 came out, the guy who plays Bernie probably was like, yeah, because Bernie's alive for the first like 20 minutes of the movie. He's
Yeah,
got
he got to act.
He's like a character.
What's
and
the
then
plot
after
again?
that-
Like he was gonna they were on the verge of a deal of something and then he died. But they wanted to go through with it or
Not
something.
important. They just need to pretend that he's
they gotta
alive.
keep pretending the party. And it's madcap
Didn't
bullshit.
he? Some woman like fucks him.
Yeah,
The first one. Like,
yeah.
she's like, "Ooh, I like you, quiet guys," and like
Fucks-
somehow
yeah, fucks
takes
the
him into
dead
the room
body.
and like
They had rigor
has
mortis, so
sex
he
with
could,
him.
he could have a
Oh
boner.
man, that was the best. I was like, you just fucked a corpse. Pretty sure you can get like some serious like venereal diseases. From it.
Hey, she bagged it up, you know?
No, it was the '80s. No one bagged it up.
Yeah.
But imagine him. Imagine I forgot the actor's name. He gets a script. They go Weekend at Bernie's 2. He's like, great. Not a single goddamn line. He pages through.
Yeah, he's like,
nothing. He's
"Oh, I
like,
just had to
"Mother."
dance like this.
He's like, I thought it was a prequel. Like, no, we're gonna actually sink you to the bottom of the ocean, and you're gonna walk and carry this treasure chest out. It's so fucking.
We actually, when I was in high school, had a friend that kind of like resembled him. And one day we found like shitty glasses and put it on him, and we would play like on a little boombox, and he would walk around at the lunchroom like that, and we'd stop it, and he'd just fall over. We thought it was fucking hilarious.
Wow,
Man, those movies are great.
criminally underrated. Weekend. Why haven't they remade Weekend at Bernie's?
I don't know.
yet?
It's the perfect movie to remake.
like they're running out of '80s franchises to redo.
yeah.
I saw
Also,
the-
it would be a great co-op game.
Yeah, you follow. It's like
You and one other player have to like control half of a guy's body because you're only
Oh,
holding
yeah,
on to
yeah.
half of it.
I think one person has the music, has the boombox, and the other one can only move when you're within certain proximity.
Yeah.
And there's obstacles.
There's
that
a
get
lot
in
we
your
can do
way.
with this Bernie's franchise. We got to
Sorry.
find out who owns that and like
Don't take
rewrite a
my
script
idea.
for it.
What do you mean, Ricky? The script writes itself.
Yeah, yeah.
All you gotta do is
we'll
get a
improv the
get
whole
a
movie.
pen and some paper, and you've got yourself a movie.
Weekend at Bernie's is great. I got to go home and watch it. You got to watch Brother Solomon.
Yeah, I'll add it to my queue.
It's on
right now.
HBO right now, I believe.
Oh.
That's how I was able to watch it.
I
'cause it
feel
was
like the
just on.
game we're playing is how far can we get away from this? We go from what's your release
Criminally
schedule to fuck you when we say so, and then we went from criminally underrated to Weekend at Bernie's 2.
It is criminally underrated. By this generation.
I think it's-
the previous generation. They loved it, as
Yeah.
far as I know.
Kids
But that
these
was
days
back
don't
before.
appreciate a good Weekend at Bernie's movie.
That was back before all the lame stream bloggers got to say whatever they want about movies. I wonder what the reviews of Weekend at Bernie's look like. Should
I
look
think
that
they
up.
were. I think they were
Trash.
pretty bad.
All right, speaking of terrible things, at Brandon Gilbert asks, and we'll start with Elliot on this one. What
Oh,
is-
one more criminally underrated movie.
Okay,
Oh,
we can
God.
stick on this the whole
Yeah.
time.
Jackie Brown, the Quentin Tarantino
Oh yeah,
movie.
yeah.
People always forget about Jackie Brown, but it's a fantastic film.
AK-47.
A+. Yeah.
That's a
absolutely
great cast.
Great cast. Robert Forster.
Very grounded in reality, unlike a lot of other Tarantino movies. Not a lot of killing, mostly just a lot of talking. But
I found
just a well-made movie.
that movie I enjoyed because it was like the first movie where I felt like I knew movies better than my friends because we all watched it in the theater. And they're like, that was garbage. And I loved it. I was
Yeah.
like, that was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Like I had already known at that point that even as young as I was, I think it was like 97 or 8 that came out.
Yeah.
I was like 14. Even then I was like, well, Quentin Tarantino, he specializes in dialogue and this movie is entirely nothing but dialogue. That's what makes it great. They're like, they didn't kill anyone. What? I was in the screening of his Grindhouse movie, which I fucking loved. The one with
Proof?
Kurt Russell
Planet,
and
yeah, Death Proof.
Death Proof. And Kurt Russell, another Kurt Russell movie. But someone in the theater, went, like literally while we were watching it in LA, was kill something. And I was just like,
You watch these movies for the wrrong reason.
Yeah. You know. what you're
anyways,
getting.
Elliot at Brandon Gilbert wants to know what is the best and worst meme of all time.
Oh God, I mean, like, they all occupy that space at a certain point.
Yeah, it's based on timing.
I mean,
Covfefe
is pretty high up there on low shelf life, but it for the initial moment, it was the best because it was just so absurd.
The world came
and
together.
then within 12 to 15 hours, like, okay, guys.
Yeah, it was 9 or 10 o'clock. I opened up. I was on the Twitter, and it was like, oh my God, someone mailed me a Christmas present that
Yeah.
got here at 10 p.m.
Well, that was it was interesting because it was like it was such a flash in the pan, faster than anything that I've ever seen, that I actually regretted the jokes that I had made because at that point, within 10 hours, they were the
I
lamest,
regret this. Yeah.
Yeah.
the
it went-
lamest thing.
Yeah, I didn't touch it.
It was
I did not
JCPenney,
touch
it was
Covfefe
not-
because most
Well,
of
the video we did, it did really well, and people like enjoyed it because
Yeah.
by that point there had been so many memes about it that people legitimately had no idea what the fuck people were talking about.
Yeah, if you missed the initial one, it had metastasized so far at that point
Yeah.
you couldn't really tell.
What is the half-life of a Covfefe?
Well, Covfefe is like a flash in the pan. Best meme. I mean, I'm gonna have to go with Pepe. And you know what? It's hard to defend Pepe in the year 2017, but
It has become the worst meme now.
you know what? Pepe had a lot of good years out there where he wasn't involved in politics, and there was a Pepe for every situation. There were rare Pepes.
It's one of the only memes I
Ultra-rare Pepes.
cried laughing about. The one
Yeah,
when we found the
yes.
one where it was like, ooh, I was in tears. We printed it out and hung it on the
one
wall,
where
and
he's
I
like
just would
really
stare at
high,
it
and he's like when you're super high and you're pretending, you're hoping
sneeze
no
or
one
whatever.
notices. And it's like,
My favorite is when you haven't been on Reddit for a while, and it's him with a gas mask
Memes.
on. he's huffing memes. That's one of my favorites.
Yeah,
I love the ingenuity though, where they trolled just the old people and the normies.
Yeah.
and they were Craigslist postings. They were people were selling lots of rare Pepes on eBay, and the shipping
it was
were
fun back then.
astronomical.
Memes were fun. They weren't controversial.
Yeah, well, that was the thing. Is the reason it is technically the best is that it literally was a meme that affected.
It put a man in the White House.
It affected the entire history of the world.
Yeah, just
Even if it
not
is-
in a way I would have liked.
Yeah, but even if you look at the vast scale of things that have happened on Earth, and say it's 100 years from now, that fucking frog is going to be in history books the
It's gonna be
same way
around.
that, like, sadly, like
the Uncle Sam wants you.
Yeah,
Fucking
yeah,
is-
that
he's
or like
Pepe.
buy war bonds
Yeah.
or like
it's,
the
wow.
Egyptians building the pyramids. Pepe built the White House. For me, I think the most annoying of all time is Damn Daniel.
Oh,
Even though it's not
even
even
a
a
meme.
meme, yeah.
It was just a catchphrase.
Yeah. Also, I don't know. They're like just anytime now that old people have gotten into it, anytime I see the 2 blocked letters with something in the middle of it, like
You worry.
memes now are just symbols. Like you can just get it by looking at it, or it has to be drawn into the image. And it has to like represent something. Whenever I see the old school like this and this and this and this,
Like any of the advice animals, and
Yeah.
the fucking John Goodman from Big Lebowski, Cock and the Gun.
the best memes
not
now
worth
are
reading.
just it's tweets over images.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I really liked all of the when Black People Twitter was going through its Arthur phase.
Yeah.
Like some of the best memes around, just taking this innocent kid show and applying it to the harsh, real adult world.
That's why I still go to the Bikini Bottom Twitter
Yeah,
subreddit.
they kind of got oversaturated though. Like the SpongeBob memes, there's still great new SpongeBob memes.
Yeah.
Practically every day, but
I just love the reinvention of that. The medium is limitless because there's literally tens of thousands of frames in every episode.
I was surprised when that one of like you can't go in the like the freaky Salvador Dali SpongeBob
Yeah.
that like just says what you're saying
or
back to you.
SpongeGar.
Yeah, well the SpongeBob that just repeats back what you just said.
Yeah.
That was like relatively recent. I was like, oh wow, like they're still finding new memes in this show.
Yeah, RC Cola.
Years after it went off the air.
Yeah, the
R-
RC Cola thing. Yeah.
Did you see that one? It was with the SpongeBob. They were shitty about Trump, and someone's like, "This is not a great business."
Oh,
strategy.
well, that wasn't actually RC Cola. That was a fake account set up to look like
it.
RC Cola,
Oh,
and it was
wow.
a
I even
fantastic
got-
account. But they flew too close to the sun, and like the whole Trump thing put attention on RC Cola as a company.
And
they're
they-
like,
oh, where
what
they
do
had
you
to
have? Do
speak
you have
out.
any comment about your social media? And they're like, what? We don't have a Twitter. We're a tiny soda company. So now they got shut down. But yeah, the RC
They were
Cola.
too good.
It's like
Yeah.
I don't think they've shut it down yet, but the Target customer service that replies to complaints on Target's actual Facebook page, all great stuff.
That's real fun.
Yeah. Old people Facebook's good for that.
Yeah.
Ken M is a great meme. I think the best meme of all time, though, and the one that has survived the longest with the most still relevant applications is Crying Jordan. It has gone down a bit this year because last year it was so prevalent.
Yeah.
But it's still, I think, when used the correct way, is still a great meme. So,
Yeah, it says everything.
yep, says it all. How about you?
I was gonna say Pepe is the best and the worst
Yeah.
because there was so much there, and just if I always felt like if I was having a down day, I could just type in rare Pepe and hit Google Images, and there was such churn and new shit coming out that I didn't even have to go to a message board or
Yeah.
fucking a subreddit or the dark web. I don't know where you guys get yours, but
Tor.
I got a Tor guy.
Me IRL, Black People Twitter, to Me IRL for Me IRL.
Meme economy.
Deep-
Meme economy
yeah.
has some good stuff.
Yeah, Meme Economy gets you in on the front doorstep because by the time it's posted there, it's almost dead anyway. Deep fried memes are fun.
Deep fried memes. Yeah.
Occasionally you'll get a good one on Simpsons shit posting, but there's been so many articles and news reports about that Facebook page now that it's like transcended its original greatness.
Well, now
far.
it's like truly shit posting.
Yeah,
you got to
no,
dig
it's-
through some turds to get to the goal.
That's the best part is when something that was originally made for that page, which is actual shit posting, whenever that happens, people are like, I don't get it. It's like, yeah, you fucking normie, get out.
yeah.
Steamed hams. Aurora Borealis. All right. Meme talk is over.
You want to rewind it and do the bit again? Classical gas.
Do you want classical gas?
We should read.
You should do the.
read an ad.
Here you go. Elliot's gonna read an ad. Thanks for our sponsoring advertiser. You know them. You love
Yeah,
them.
we have a sponsor.
I actually
an
did a stream.
advertiser.
I did a live cooking stream on Twitch this week.
You did. That's right. It's Blue Apron. You started getting it.
I started getting it. I love it.
Yeah.
This is a non-paid testimonial. Here's the thing. I hate shopping. I
Yep.
hate shopping after work.
Supermarkets give me stress.
And,
Can't handle it.
and
I don't want to plan anything.
Gotta
No.
park.
Look, I go to like Trader Joe's a lot, and guess what? I make the same 4 meals,
Yeah.
and
Spaghetti and meatballs.
I'm sick of it.
Blue Apron
Steamed
gives
hams.
you 3 new meals every week. These recipes are damn good. I have not been disappointed.
They've been really good recently. A lot of they've been
Yeah.
going. I guess it's new season. You were saying
It's
it's
a new
seasonal,
month.
yeah.
So some of the meals available in June include warm smoked trout and asparagus salad with fingerling potatoes, those cute little finger potatoes,
Yeah.
and garlic croutons. Spiced zucchini enchiladas with creamy lime and tomato rice. Elote-style vegetable tostadas with summer squash, poblano peppers, and cilantro rice. And get this, peach honey glazed chicken with mashed sweet potatoes, collard greens, and Thai basil.
Woo!
Yeah.
I got ramen this week and steak and lettuce wraps.
Yeah.
I got those. I made those last night.
The Asian stuff is usually my favorite. But
What's,
yeah.
What I didn't know is that, and I don't know if this kicks in after your first week or that recently, but where you get 8 choices. And you
Oh,
pick
yeah, they
3.
recently added even more choices.
Fuck, I forgot to cancel my Cuba one.
Well,
gonna be
someone
sitting
at the office is going to get a tasty free Blue Apron when
Yeah,
Ricky's not
fuck.
here to pick it up. But yeah, springtime
To
is
you-
a great
use-
time to hit the reset button, re-tackle personal goals like getting fit, cleaning, and in this case, cooking. Luckily, Blue Apron makes incredible home cooking easy and accessible by delivering personal seasonal recipes. Not personal, just delivering seasonal recipes with step-by-step instructions, pre-portioned ingredients, right to your door, all for less than $10 a month. And you can even customize the recipes based on your preferences, pescatarian, vegetarian, all of that. You can choose them. A lot of
Probably not
options there.
vegan though.
I don't know about full vegan. A lot of people have different definitions. I got a vegetarian one recently just because it looked so good on the menu. I was like, I'll try it out, and I was not disappointed.
All right.
So yeah, to get your own Blue Apron, go over, check out this week's menu at blueapron.com/ask. That's /ASK. Check out the menu. Get your first 3 meals for free with free shipping by going to blueapron.com/ask. You will love how good it feels and tastes to create incredible home-cooked meals with Blue Apron. So do not wait. That's blueapron.com/ask. Obviously, those first 3 meals are free. Then you start paying for them unless you cancel. You know how this works.
I couldn't believe.
I don't have to hold your hand here.
It's one of those things that I was like, yeah, I'll try it out and see if I like it. They gave us at the beginning.
I did not fully intend on going an entire year.
Yeah, I've been a customer for a
eating Blue
year.
Apron almost every week, but here I am today.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, Blue Apron, a better way to cook.
And if you work in the building with Ricky, use friend code Cuba when his box arrives next week, and you
Just
get a
steal it
free
from the
box.
doorstep.
Just yell Cuba real loud, and it's
Yeah.
yours.
My forgetfulness is your
Yeah.
meal.
Yeah. If you want to watch me cook, the video's on my Twitch, twitch.tv/it's Ricky for the win. It didn't look good when it was finished,
You got to work on your plating.
but it tasted just fine. The rhubarb got too mushy.
Rhubarb chicken.
Let's move on to a question, though. We can answer this quick one really quick because Jorge blank ORG OJ blank OJRG. How's Maddie doing? I really missed the podcast of you guys talking about random stuff. Maddie's at TMZ.
Yeah, I think he's like going to LAX and chasing around celebrities.
No, I think he's
who are
producing
just-
stuff, but
He's hanging outside of that. He's outside of that new celebrity terminal. He's like, hey, Jonah.
what do you guys think about VR? It sucks, right?
No, he is not a paparazzi.
No,
I would not slander
He's a
him like
producer,
that. Yeah, he's a
and
producer.
but he does give great. He does like open forums on his Twitter where if you have any questions about production, he's like more than happy to talk with you about like your goals
Oh, really?
in production. Yeah,
That's really
So
cool.
follow him on Twitter at Matty Samita. He is way more liberal with his time than either of us would ever be.
Yeah, I don't
Because
know.
you're conservative.
We're conservative with our time.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, this is a good question for Elliot to start off with.
Why
at
you cuck so
Star
hard?
Wars Nerd 75.
Oh, good.
Sorry, Nick, if I said that mean. What would you say to President Donald Trump if you were sitting, or if you sat down next to him? So if you were sitting right across from him and you had one question and he had to answer it.
Jesus, that's hard. I don't know. Like, I would want to say something that got to him
Let me sit just
in
like
a
him.
positive way.
I'll sit just
Yeah.
like him.
Yeah, like, fuck, I don't know. I'd probably, oh God, the handshake. You're gonna pull his arm off. Now that everything's all screwed up. I don't know. I honestly like that. That would be so unfathomable. I would probably just remind him that he lost the popular vote, just to agitate him.
But why would you do that? Because he already has a map,
Yeah,
electoral
it's already
college
on the
map
table.
on the table in front of you,
Yes,
laminated.
you won the electoral college, but sir, you
Lost
lost
the
by
popular
3
vote.
million votes.
and then he would say,
Like I don't think there's any constructive getting to him anymore. Like that's like Elon Musk. He took a lot of flack for getting on that like corporate advisory board where Trump set up a board with a bunch of heads of industry in the U.S. to like talk about policies that would be good for businesses in various fields. And
How many times do you think he's actually talked to them though?
Elon Musk says he was like at every meeting. He's
Oh,
like,
really?
he's like, I bring up, immigration and climate change at every possible chance I get. That's the only reason I'm doing this.
Wow.
And then, so this week when they passed the climate accord, or when he backed out of the climate accords, Elon Musk is like, well, okay, I mean,
This is
I
doing
tried.
nothing.
I
Yeah.
tried. It had no effect. So bye. Yes, I mean, I don't think there's really much getting through to him. I mean, any other guy, like even if it was like George W. Bush. Like, I'd probably just want to talk to him, like, have a sincere conversation about, like, his goals in Iraq and, like, I don't know why I disagree with that, but, like, yeah, Donald Trump, like, I don't think he's capable of having, like, a constructive conversation.
This is for everybody who got pissed at me for getting political on Tech News Day.
Which don't
I
ever.
thought this show was...
I'm so fucking. I'm gonna let you go right now, but I'm so fucking tired of that, and we're not going to put up with that anymore, and we're just gonna literally do whatever the fuck we want.
Yeah.
Thank you. Let me defend Donald Trump here.
Okay.
So,
Except for that.
except for
Canceled.
that, yeah, done. No, but you know how like you guys smashed Nintendo Switch?
Yeah.
And you're like,
Yeah.
hey, I'm gonna buy Nintendo Switch. Everyone's like, oh, look at me, I'm Ricky Haber.
Yeah.
I hate Nintendo. I'll break it, but I'll be willing to spend the money. And
Hypocrites.
then that's how Trump's tweets are. Or, again, whenever he does something, someone pulls up something, one of his tweets,
Yeah.
and it's nothing's worse than someone wagging their finger at you, going, "Remember when you said this?" You just want to smack him. And the
Yeah.
dude is he's a very headstrong guy who's a businessman who's like, fuck the past. I said it today. Who gives a shit? Look at this other shiny thing I'm going to say over here. And that's what it's like. Someone calling it, remember when you said...
And my argument for that is you're the fucking president of the
Well,
United
that's-
States.
that's
You're
as far
supposed
as
to
I-
be...
That's as far as I'll go.
You're not only are you supposed to like we were talking about it earlier. I want the president to be smarter than me.
Yeah.
Yes.
People are like, oh, he's just like us. And it's like, well, he should be better than that.
Yeah.
And also, the president of the United States should, and I know that, like, this isn't a
I don't
necessity
even
for
want
the job.
a CEO like me. I would be terrified to work for a
Yeah.
CEO
Yes.
who's just like me.
But
A fucking president who's just like me? No.
and this came up during the election, though. He should be a positive role model for children.
Yeah.
At the very
yeah,
least.
that's not going to happen.
Because that
At
was...
the very least.
I was upset. I missed the boat, but when he did the thing last week or 2 weeks ago, when he pushed through the crowd and did
Yeah.
and
He's an
did his thing,
asshole.
but that was
At least George W. Bush, like, he did some evil shit, but he wasn't a fucking asshole.
Yeah,
every
George
day.
W. Bush would give Angela Merkel massages that
Yeah.
she didn't ask for, and she would go,
yeah, she'd be weirded out. But when Trump did that, I was like, you would yell at a kindergartner, a 5-year-old
Like, hey,
child,
behave.
if they pushed through. And I'm like, how much of that would apply to other things he does? And that's where, and again, this is where I'm short-sighted. I'm more upset about how he conducts himself than
Yes.
his politics.
oh, yeah,
Yeah,
no,
yeah, yeah.
Well, it's funny, like, I think if Ted Cruz was president, he'd be doing
As
just
bad
as
of a
much
job,
terrible
yeah.
shit, but he'd be doing it with that fucking smirk on his
Yeah,
face
yeah.
and his like holier than thou attitude, and people would be like, he's such a great debater. I'm like, yeah, he's great at speaking, but the shit that's coming out of his mouth is fucking cancer.
Well, it's like
At least with Trump, like, it's just so openly just
Spitting in the face
evil.
of, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's
it's
the
just
problem. When you,
gross.
okay, he had no risks his entire life, and when you have no risks and you have the financial footing on other people that have people that work under you or that you're making deals with, you're constantly rewarded for your like bravado and like brashness and your
Yeah.
ability to like strong arm people, and that's not what being the president should be.
No, there's a lot
Yeah.
more to it, and yeah, it's funny because like my entire adult life, people have been like, we should get a businessman in the White House. We need to run this country
Yeah.
like a business, and
Nope.
it's like always been like, no, well, the government doesn't. In a company, you're the CEO and you make decisions. Like if a business was run like the government, you would have to answer to your shareholders every day,
Yeah.
and you'd
Yeah.
have
And you could get fired,
There'd be
yeah.
like 400 and 50 members of your board of directors who all hated each other, and
Yeah.
you wouldn't get any fucking.
So it kind of is like a business.
Yeah.
We're the shareholders. We don't really get that much of a say. We get to sit on the conference call, and that's about it.
Yeah.
I own 10 shares of Snapchat. I would like to be
I'd
involved.
like free spectacles, please.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a lot.
I don't own shares of
You have
Snapchat.
to be a lot more cooperative
Well,
in general, just to be a politician who actually is successful.
But so what would you ask him if you were in the room? And you had one question, he had to answer it.
if he had to answer it truthfully,
Yeah.
I would say, did you really want to be president when you ran? That is
Yeah,
that
yeah.
is.
That
And
is
if
a
that was some
burning
Wonder Woman
question.
lasso of truth shit, because I mean that's what I said on Tech News Day. But I think that he was like, look, I don't want to do this because it's not a fun job.
No.
I don't think it's. I mean, you look at how much Obama aged, and he was a fairly young president. Like that shit ages you. You have to read some. I would not want to do it. Not that I could.
Yeah,
not
it
that I'm
sounds like a real pain in the
qualified,
ass.
but it's not fun. And he got in, and I think it's like, oh fuck. He's like, I'm not changing who I am. And he really stuck to his guns, and I think that's what agitated so many people. But you see, it's not working. And when you look
Well,
at
it strengthens his base when he does that, though.
yes.
says what he means.
Yeah.
He says what he means, and the way
He's got the hat.
he operates is he walks into a bar and he's like, I'm gonna fight every guy here, and that's a lot of effort and that's a lot of conflict. Where I feel like Obama was a guy who'd walk into the bar and be like, hey, we're having a disagreement. Let me buy everybody around. Like he would work smarter, not harder, and agitate less people in the international field. But again,
well, internationally especially, we're a
Internationally,
fucking joke right now for a
clown
number of
shoes.
reasons.
My
I mean,
sister lives in London, and she's like, "What's wrong with you people?" I'm like, "Bitch, I didn't fucking elect him."
every time we've had to travel for work, like the newsstands, it's just like, oh god.
Well,
oh,
it was
God,
funny
that's how
though.
they see us.
And I recently went to Iceland.
Yeah,
but-
what was the newspapers there like?
Oh no, it wasn't bad, but it was funny because like I had a couple, like there was maybe like 2 real conversations I had with locals there because for the most part,
So you're
from what
Americans?
from what I've seen, the locals there do not like talking to any tourists. They look down on you. It's weird, but and I know there's plenty of good Icelandic people out there, but I did get into some conversations, but I immediately they're like, oh fucking Trump this and then I'm like. Your fucking president was implicated in the Panama Papers.
yeah.
Like, fuck you.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Who the fuck do you think you are? So everyone has their own problems now, which is it's uniquely a level playing field because you can't even go to London and have them talk shit because it's like you guys are fucked too. Like
Yeah.
Y'all Brexited. Bye bye.
yeah. So it's a unique situation that everyone's terrible now.
Everybody has a mark on it's rock paper. It's political rock
Yeah.
paper scissors.
And that's by no means, and I want to make this clear, like, because everyone always thinks that we just like are true liberal apologists for everything. Like Barack Obama did some terrible shit, and
Yeah.
I think the main thing aside from the war in Afghanistan and the problems with that, and yes, he did a lot of bad things, and I think everyone agrees on that. It's just like you don't bring it up every single fucking time to defend Trump. That's what people do. But like they could have fucking nailed healthcare. They had control of everything, and they were being nice and fucking negotiated.
Yeah,
and
they were
we
way
got
too
deep.
deferential
Yeah.
with it. But the approach they took would make sense in any other universe where they were like, okay, well, let's just borrow a bunch of points from this existing plan that a bunch of Republicans put out in 1992.
Yeah.
Like, let's build it around that. That way you get some of your stuff, we get some of our stuff. And by then they were like, I don't think a Republican did that. Like, it was
Yeah.
like the fucking Heritage Foundation, this conservative think tank, came up with most of Obamacare. And they assumed that by being deferential to that, they'd win over more of the GOP. But by then, it was like
No.
too much time had passed.
Yeah.
And
So
that-
there's plenty of things wrong on both sides, and
Yeah.
that's I think the hard thing online is that because we're currently living in this administration and we went through that election, that the response in defense is always, "Oh, well, Hillary Clinton sucks," and it's like, well, I mean,
No argument
Yeah,
there.
we didn't really.
I don't think she
because you-
sucks quite as much, but
yeah, just
she was a
because you
bad
don't
candidate.
like Trump,
Yeah,
it doesn't
Obama
mean
did
you
terrible
support.
shit. Okay, yes, I agree. There was some bad things, but overall, the man was able to communicate properly. He was he went to Harvard, didn't buy his way in. The man he was a fucking cool president. I think so.
Very well read,
Very-
well
yeah.
spoken. Seemed to be
Genuinely-
a genuinely kind person who got along with
Seemed
other
to
world
really
leaders.
care about the country.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, just a general, like, the whole reason I was attracted to him as a candidate was, like, positivity.
Yeah.
like trying to be
yeah,
constructive instead of just being like, you know what sucks? This fucking country. This shithole of a country.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Vote
the
for
thing
me.
is, and when I go home and see my parents too, and I don't know if it's the same for you guys, but I think your parents are pretty liberal. I don't know about your
Yeah.
parents, but and their friends and people that live in my old hometown and stuff like that is. They're all just really fucking angry with the government, and that's why they love Trump so much, because he's an angry person.
Yeah.
And they like seeing themselves mirrored on the world stage like that.
Represented,
Yeah.
right? And it's like it doesn't always translate. The bummer of the whole thing is if you're shitty, like I'm shitty about Trump all the time. Like,
Yeah.
oh, but I mean Hillary's, and I'm like, whoa, I'm not a Hillary supporter. I think all the shit with the DNC and all that was ugly.
Yeah.
But just because you don't like A, it doesn't mean if I didn't like heads, it doesn't mean I want tails either. It's like the
Yes.
whole coin was fucked. Like
Yeah.
there should have been other people in there. But the thing that is the most disappointing is it's just bad to have this divided of a country. And what sucks is that I hate Bill Maher and the fucking super
Yeah.
loud left wing. It's like
The
the people
snarkinati.
who are just like, he's the Antichrist. It's like, shut the fuck. Like,
I mean, I went
be
off
realistic,
yesterday during the
be
Paris thing. I was
practical.
like, he's a fucking blowhard. He's an asshole. And I really believe that, but it's like, I don't do that all the time. I mostly pick out like the shit that's so ridiculous and it's mind-boggling that it's reality.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's reason to be upset for many different reasons. So pick one usually.
I mean, on social media at least, I generally try to stay positive, and I'm able to do that mostly just because everyone at the state and local level representing me right now is like
Doing a good
fucking
job, yeah.
A+. Like I'm just like fully behind them. So anytime something just awful happens coming from the Trump White House, I just check the Twitters of like
Ted
Eric
Lieu,
Garcetti and
yeah,
like Gavin
Adam
Newsom
Schiff,
and like
there's
all these guys
yeah.
and like they just like double down on like California's better than this. Like we're gonna keep doing things our way here, and I'm like, all right, thank God. At least I can keep doing the thing where when people ask me where I'm from, like California, they're like, oh, awesome, thank you. I thought you were gonna say America, but you said California, totally different.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of how, like, if Hillary was president now, how we would cover things, and I don't think it would be too much
It'd be
different.
boring.
It would be
that
boring.
would be great.
Well, we haven't covered a lot of politics recently, although like I'm at the point where I'm like, you know what, fuck this. Like, we shouldn't be scared of like losing subscribers because we make fun of this fucking idiot. He's proven to be an idiot. Sorry if you disagree. Like I said, when the election was happening, I was like, I mean, if I was going to vote for Republican, I mean, I don't agree with a lot of his views, but I would have no problem with John Kasich in office right now if it had to be a Republican.
Sure, like at
The
least
man
with
is
John
a-
Kasich, you can have a conversation.
Yeah.
Like, most of his social like views are fucking weird, but he seems like a guy that you can reason with, and he's like willing to budge and like negotiate, and like he seems like just a genuinely nice person.
Yeah.
Whereas the guys like Cruz and Trump, like the fact that the two of them were both like leading the pack, I was just like, oh god, this is fucking bad. Like, there's no way this ends well.
Yeah.
Both these guys are fucking terrible.
Just like I don't, regardless of his policies, Ted Cruz just looks like a fucking piece of shit. Like Donald Trump, he's in his own category.
Ted Cruz
but, like,
isn't even liked by members of his own party.
No,
Yeah.
no, I don't think.
Like I
anyone
said, I
likes
think I
him.
said this. My statement on Ted Cruz when the election was happening was he looks like a dude that would poop in a pool
Yeah.
and blame it on someone else.
No,
Al
that
Franken
was,
just
said
because
he
he-
microwaves fish in the Senate and
Yeah.
stinks up the whole building.
Well, he looks. I don't know where it came from, but like one day I was just like, he looks like a guy that poops in the pool because he enjoys watching people be grossed out by it.
Yeah.
The thing that frustrates me, and I contributed in my infinitesimal little loose change way, but like Donald Trump, when everybody was making fun of him and just tweeting the jokes and look at the piss parties and you have tiny hands and all this stuff. It's the part in a movie when they're shooting the monster and they don't realize that it's making the monster stronger.
Oh.
Yeah.
And for months and months, we were just shooting our PKE, or I'm sorry, our proton packs at him, and we're just like, oh, look
Giving
at
him
you,
power,
you're fat,
yeah.
you're old, you're a nerd, and all that we were giving him was more coverage, and that's kind of what he.
Well,
and
to
his
answer
camp
your
thrived
question
on.
that you had asked him if he really wanted to be president, I think he would still, not now, but I think genuinely he did want to be president for like just the fact that he fucking did it.
Yeah,
That's
I thi-
it.
The
I thi-
conquest.
I think it's like just the same as the dog wants to catch the car.
Yeah.
It just doesn't
What is
really.
it? Yeah.
It doesn't really plan that far ahead. Where once it actually does.
No, I think that he was planning that far ahead and he wanted to win because it was the ultimate thing that he could ever do.
It's
there's-
the
he is-
greatest
he is-
possible
there's-
achievement.
There's
Yeah.
nothing left for him to do except what, have another kid die? Like that. I mean, like
He's
where do you
very
go?
old and he's apparently gaining weight and very upset. I just feel like I know I don't feel bad for Barron because he's a very privileged kid, but like the dude doesn't have a dad. Like,
No, it
No,
sucks.
the kid's life.
he's
yeah.
gonna be scarred for a long
It
time.
sucks
Yeah,
for him.
I don't know.
And again, on the left, the Kathy Griffin garbage like that. That's stupid.
Not helping.
It doesn't
Yeah.
help. But like, what
Yeah,
is that?
people are like, "Oh, you didn't cover the Kathy Griffith thing," and we're like,
I don't-
"Okay, well, I'll say it now. It was a fucking
it
stupid
was
thing,
stupid.
and
And
it
it's like-
wasn't funny."
Yeah.
Like, I honestly, I don't like really care. She can do whatever the fuck she wants, and people were terrible to Barack Obama in serious ways.
Yeah.
Whereas at the very least, and I'm not apologizing for her actions because I thought it was fucking stupid. And like, why even do that? But at the very least, she's a fucking comedian.
Yeah.
So you know she's not serious. Whereas when Obama was president, there were actual fucking serious people that like showed
He
him
should be
hanging in the
lynched.
news.
Yeah, like
and
burning
lynched.
effigies and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I've reached a point now where I don't really feel like speaking out about supporters on either side.
Yeah.
Because
there's loony
if you
liberals.
go looking for assholes,
You're gonna
find them. It's like that guy who murdered the two people on the train in Portland. People are like trying to frame that as like how to contextualize it with Trump, and it's couldn't be any more clear that this guy is just fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Like the footage of him in the courtroom, like ranting and shouting, it's like he is not mentally well. So I mean, yeah, you could try to pigeon this whole. Like, you can try to connect the dots, but it's
Timothy
not
McVeigh
productive.
did his thing in the 90s, and Donald Trump wasn't president. He blew up a giant
Yeah.
building on American soil, and Trump was nowhere to be
And
found.
like even when people do absolutely terrible shit in the name of one candidate or the other, like I don't think it's wise to read too much into it unless you start to see a much larger trend of that. And I mean, I don't think there's been enough time to really know.
Yeah, it's
a lot of
been
people
6
have been
months.
saying it's the Trump presidency means a lot of these racist assholes can finally speak more freely.
or they
and
think
take-
they can.
Yeah,
they think it's
but
okay.
like, yeah, I mean, yeah, and it's the same with like Antifa. Like, I don't associate me with these fucking like people that put on all black and hit people with bike locks. Like, I
Yeah,
watched a
no.
video of this dude hitting a dude with a bike lock, and I'm just like, oh god,
Yeah,
no.
keep me far away from
what
all
are
of
you
that.
doing?
All
Yeah,
bad.
just
All
send
bad.
Berkeley out to the sea.
Let's
Send
see,
Berkeley
let's
out.
do
What would
one
you ask
more.
Donald Trump? Should we send Berkeley out to the sea?
Donald, I got a great idea. It's going to be great for ratings. We take Antifa and the alt-right. We put them on Midway Island, directly in the center of the Pacific Ocean, where the famous Battle of Midway was fought. We let them all fight to the death.
Nah, I'm pretty sure World War II happened in Germany, dum-dums. The next question is literally, why don't you guys talk about politics a little more? I love it when you do. So
I
there's
know.
that past
I think
15
that's
minutes is
good
your
enough.
answer. Yeah.
Let me push those two together. I saw Wonder Woman this morning, and they had a scene preview for Dunkirk. Not even a trailer, but
Oh,
just
the movie
a
looks
scene
great.
lifted. Hoo-wee!
Definitely going to see that in the IMAX.
It's tense. Did you guys get it? It's maybe a 4-minute scene that it just.
Oh, it's a scene?
It was a straight up scene from
Oh,
the movie.
no, I haven't seen that.
And the again, unless they recut it, but the quality level and the way everything gels. Look, it appears to be a scene from the movie, but the sound design and the score, it just builds for the whole time, and you're like, oh god, this is so stressful. It's I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Last question.
Wars used to be fun.
Back when wars were fun, Trenchfoot was great.
Ooh, I have trench mouth.
Yeah. And I liked PTSD a lot more when it was called Shell Shock. They had cooler names back then.
Yeah,
When they
Shell
opened up for
Shock,
that-
it's like, ooh, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Now it's like, PTSD. Too many letters.
PTSD power.
The last question. At HFVZHMR.
Oh, fuck off.
The best countries that you've visited. Just pick one.
Best countries I visited?
Yeah. Pick one.
I mean, I don't know. They're all pretty great. I like Germany. I like France. I like
Underpants?
England. I don't know. I've only really been to Europe, And I guess if we count the EU as one country, I like the EU a lot.
You haven't been to Asia yet?
No.
And you're going to Ireland for the first time, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Never been to Ireland. I'm going there in September or October.
I mean, it was my second time in Iceland, and I think as far as like insane natural beauty goes, it's fucking way up there. Mostly because you feel like you're on an alien planet.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically, there's this one drive between, it's like in the south part of the island, in between the town of Vik and the town of Hoffen, where you are literally both sides of the car for miles is nothing but black sand with random black rocks on top of it. So it literally looks like you're driving on the moon or something.
That's cool.
On the opposite end of that, like tropical type stuff, like the islands, the Hongs off of the coast of Phuket, that was some of the most unbelievable, most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Like incomparable to anything else I've ever seen. Like it doesn't look real. It's so beautiful. And that was probably one of the coolest things was like just being on one of those longboats and just like going between the Hongs and there's the islands that stick out of the water.
Oh, those ones.
Yeah.
So it's off the coast of Fuck It?
Yeah, fuck it. Yeah. So I'd say that. But yeah, as far as like like those are pretty far out there like to go to, but I'd say
He said country though.
Yeah.
What's the best entire country in the world?
yeah, it's hard to say.
Yeah, I know.
I'd say like Germany. I think is every
There's a
city
lot
that
to
I've
do
been
in
to
Germany.
in Germany has
if you're
been
gonna
great.
pick one country in Europe to like get the most out of, I'd say Germany because it's the most densely populated and the culture is pretty like varies a lot throughout the country.
Yeah.
They weren't unified until like the 1870s, so a lot of like the old traditions carry over.
You know what? USA, best country.
Oh,
Best
there
country
it
to travel,
is.
America. Only country I need to travel.
Damn, son.
I do want to do more exploring in America. I haven't been to like Yellowstone and shit like that, where it's like
I haven't been down to the bayous of the South where the gumbo flows
you
like
have?
wine. Yeah, I have.
you went to New Orleans.
Yeah, I've been to New Orleans.
been there
And
twice
I've been
for
to the
work.
bayous of Austin, Texas.
Yeah.
I've been to New Orleans twice for work, and it's nice when your trip's paid for, and then you have 3 days to manage your hangover and just get
Yeah,
to
being
set.
the airport on the way
Absolutely
home is the
terrible.
worst.
Yeah.
The New Orleans airport is a sad place when you're on the departures line.
Oh no, it's not as fun.
Favorite country?
I would. I feel very basic saying I think it's England. I also really enjoyed Scotland. I mean, I like a place. I'm a very simple man who likes a pint and who likes to eat some food that's bad for me that tastes delicious. And,
Salt, fish, potato.
and
yeah,
beer.
and go. And it just I think I went to England. It was a while ago. And I was younger, and I didn't have as many cares in the world, so I felt invincible, like nothing could happen. I was just like, party, whatever,
Yeah.
it's cool. And I had a good time. And I crashed with my sister, so it was cheap. So maybe I'm just looking at it through rose-colored glasses, but I enjoyed it.
I will say, if you are going to make a decision between Iceland and Thailand, you should go to Thailand because Iceland is way too fucking expensive. A meal, like a hamburger with fries, is like $35.
What?
Yeah, it's insane.
That's crazy.
A beer is
Why?
like $12. I think the tax is like 20%, but also like I would assume that they're doing it because like especially in the summer months, like the tourism there is pretty much the main source of income, and a lot of
Jesus.
people just eat at home.
Yeah.
But it's gnarly the cost there. Like a tank of gas is like comparable. Like it would be like $7 a gallon here. Yeah, it was very expensive.
Oh, proper spit
So,
take.
but
That might be the first
on the
one
opposite
set.
end, Thailand is very, very
Cheapy,
cheap.
cheapy, cheap,
yeah,
cheap.
you can go get an hour-long massage for $5 American. Their
And
loss
that's
is your
a
game.
full massage.
And that's a rap fact.
And that is a happy ending fact.
I was never asked. I always went to the reputable places.
I was never asked. I just was taken advantage of.
Yeah.
You
Ricky
went to the
Hayberg.
reputable places then, just stunk up the place with farts and poops and just ruined people's days.
Well, hold on. Well, that was Ted Cruz who was next to Ricky.
Oh, I just love Thailand. Rub my feet. Anyways, thank you guys for joining us on the podcast this week. That was fun,
Enlightening.
enlightening.
Hope you made it through the political part.
Go
but
Red
I feel like
Weekend
we
at
had-
Bernie's.
Yeah, and Brother
And
Solomon.
Weekend at Bernie's 2.
Watch them
Let
out
us-
of order.
Let us know which one you like the most.
Watch Bernie's 2 first.
No,
and then piece
don't.
it together. How did they get in this predicament?
Go watch the guest.
And why
It's
isn't
good.
that body rotting by now?
Yeah, what's up with that?
What's
Yeah.
the guy who played Beast? Dan Stevens?
Yeah.
Is his name? Dan
Yeah,
Stevens
in The
in
Guest.
it. Yeah, he was in the guest. It's really good.
Yeah. And he's going to be in something else soon, too. He's in Legion, also.
Yeah, he's the lead in Legion. That's right. I'm like, why does this guy look familiar? I'm like, because you've seen like 9 things he's in, dude.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Anyways, that's it. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you guys. We'll be back for a live show on Monday, and another week of
Cool. Hope you had a great
exciting-
weekend at Bernie's.
Auf
Have a great
Wiedersehen.
weekend.
Oh, German man.